Hello, everybody. This is Israel Silva, and I want to welcome you to the Increase Your Income Challenge. The Increase Your Income Challenge. You're in for a great treat. So, what we're going to do is there's three things that I always want to remind you. There's content, community, and challenge. And so, I'm giving you the content, and we're giving you the challenge. The community, you can do this challenge with another friend or a family member, or you can join our community and do the challenge with us. But you're more than free to do it with your friends and family. So how are we going to do this? This first week is really going to be leading yourself. So the first thing we want to do, I want to talk about why play a game to increase your income. Why play a game to increase your income? To think about it, trying to increase your income is not easy. Doing it by yourself, you can get stressed out, frustrated. Maybe you don't have an idea what to do next. But what if you made a game out of this? What if you figure out a way where you could work with other people in doing that? So that's what I want to express to you is to make this increasing your income challenge a game. And how we're going to do that, I got 4 points real quick. 4 points. And the first one is act with a challenge mindset and not a threat mindset. And what happens to a lot of people is, the threat is, I lost my job. I'm not going to have enough money to pay my bills. The threat is I got just divorced and he made all the money. I didn't make any money. Or she made all the money. I didn't make any money. And now I don't have any income. That's the threat. The threat is, and when you get the threat mindset, you're like, I'm going to die. I'm going to fail. They're going to kick me out of my house. That you start thinking about all the wrong negative thoughts. But if you have a challenge mindset, and that's where you go, hey, I can reach the top of that mountain. I can start earning 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 a month. I can do that. You start believing with this challenge mindset. First set the goal and then go after it. That is the first most important thing, is having that challenge mindset. So that's how you make a game on increasing your income. When you have this game going on, now you start creating strategies. The strategies, you figure out what are the things that are going to hold me back. If I want to get a new job or start a new job or even start a new career or start a business, what are the things that are going to hold me back? And we call that identifying the obstacles, aka the villains, the person, place, things, bad habits that are going to hold you back from reaching your goal, your financial goal. Let's say I want to have a new job and I want to be making $100,000 a year. Okay, that's not enough. I want to be making $200,000 a year. What is it going to take to do that? What are the obstacles? Maybe there's self-doubt. That might be a villain that you have to list. So when you make this a game, you have a challenge mindset. Number two, that's number one. Number two, you create strategies to defeating the villains, the things that are going to hold you back. Number three, you have fun working with others. Now, when you have a game, you can go and say, hey, buddy, friend, sister, brother, cousin, I have this mission, this challenge that I'm on to increase my income by $20,000 a year. Do you think you want to join this challenge with me? Your buddy or friend's going to go like 20,000. Where can I get off on that? I want to get in on that. And you say, well, join my group, join my challenge with me, and you could probably increase your income by 20 or 30,000, whatever you decide to do. And so you're more likely to get someone to come help you. And then they're going to be on the same quest with you or the same activities with you. And so some of them are going to be very similar. And so that's what you're doing. You're making a game out of this. You're having fun with other people. Now, if you were going to be in that threat mindset, and you're like, oh me, oh my, I need some help. Can you lend a brother some money? Can you give me a loan, please? People are less likely to help you that way because, well, one, you have that threat mindset and it's kind of negative and it's a little repelling. You don't want to be around that. And so people are like, yeah, I can help you maybe. But if you have this challenge mindset, and you have a challenge, a mission, a goal, and you say, hey, I'm going to get this goal. Do you want to join in on this? They're more likely to do that. It's easier to ask for help when you ask for your allies to come in on the mission. So that's part of increasing your income a game. The fourth thing is you celebrate. You have joy on your victory. You celebrate your victory. That is a big part of this, is having fun achieving your goal and then celebrating it with your friends, the people who helped you, your allies, and just saying there's recognition. I've reached this level and now I can go to the next level. Maybe now I've reached 200,000 a year in my annual income. Why don't I take it to 400,000? Why don't I stretch my limitations? Continue to make this a game. It's an infinite game. It never ends until you die. And so that's what we're going to do, is we're going to play increasing your income challenge as a game to increase your income. So that is the part. Now here's the rules of the challenge. Number 1, we're going to use content, community, and the game challenge format over the next 90 days to achieve your specific epic wins that will help you increase your income. Now, what are those epic wins? That's really going to be dependent on you. I'm going to give you some structure. I'm going to give you several foundational principles that I've taken from several books, one of them being Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success, and I've condensed a lot of those things out. Some of these other things, we're going to have activities to get there. So there's a lot of things that we're going to learn, but it's content. But content alone will not get you there. We all know we need to exercise more, we need to diet more, but just knowing is not enough. It takes community. And whether you're in part of the Financial Champion community and you've joined as a member, or you have your own friends and you're going to take on this challenge with your own friends, just do it on your own, you can do this. You need that community to help you, encourage you, keep you going. And the challenge format, I'm going to share that challenge format with you right now on what's the structure of doing this. That's important because it makes the game. It is the rules of the game. And so that is the first rule of this game, is to use content, community, and the challenge format. The second thing you need to do, the second rule, is you need to commit to the challenge. 90 days is a long time. That's a season. 90 days from now, it's almost Christmas. And there's a lot of things going on between now and Christmas. There's Thanksgiving, there's shopping, spending money, doing all these things. They're going to be other things called distractions. And you need to figure out, am I going to commit to this right now? How important is my goal, it's increasing my income? Is that really something I'm ready to go on and commit to? Because that is the important part, is committing to the challenge. You're going to really need to do something every day for the next 90 days. It might just be 10 minutes, but still, are you committed to notching that time away and sacrificing, not doing something else? Maybe it's not watching a TV show or not going to that certain entertainment event. Whatever that is, you have to think about that. Number 3 is you have to work in community. That is part of the rule of this challenge. It just doesn't work by yourself. That's the whole point. We don't want to do this by ourselves. We want to find friends, family, coworkers, whoever's you trust with going through this together, and someone who's going to be encouraging you and positive. Now, when I'm saying they're going with you, you're gonna like ring them in and say, you're my ally. You're doing this with me. Now, you don't have to do everything I'm doing. You can do bits and parts of it, maybe specific epic goals that I have. You're going to share that epic win with me. You're going to do the same, set the same goal. And that's something that people can do with you, but you need to do it with others. So that's the working in the community part. That's number 3. Number 4 is you have to track your progress. Without measurement, there can't be improvement. So that's one of the things what we need you to do, is track your progress. Now, if you're part of the Financial Champion community, we're going to help you do that. We're going to set up a registration tracking system. It's something I've been working on for a while, and it's going to be good. And really, really, you need something, even if it's just a journal, writing it down on a piece of paper in a notebook every day. That is a start, and you really need something to measure. I completed this many activities. I completed this many quests this week. I did these things. I beat the villain this week. You're going to have to record these things and remember, because they're like memorial stones. I did this. I accomplished this. Because every week, when week in, week out, and you're week 6 and week 7 and week 8, and you're like, oh, this is so much work. But you're going to go, but I'm making progress. It's all about the journey. And so tracking your progress is important. Number 5, help others. This is all about, when I tell people you're a financial champion, that means that you're someone who's taking your finances to the highest level, but you're helping other people take their finances to the highest level as well. It's not about just me and my 4 or 5, my family. No, it's about you helping others. And there's a scripture that says, as iron sharpens iron, so people can sharpen people. You can be a pencil sharpener, a people sharpener. You can do that. And so it's so great. You know, the funny thing is, when you help someone else, you might, oh, that's good, he helped someone else. You're actually helping yourself too, because you put yourself in a position where there's all these hormones, dopamine, cytosine, all these different hormones. But when you help someone, it encourages you, it lifts you up. So it's really important to remember that in helping others. That's a big part of this rules of this challenge. You need to be helping people throughout this challenge, not just helping yourself. The sixth one, the last one, is you're going to celebrate your victories. I mean, we're going to come up with ways on how you celebrate in your community. You're going to talk to your allies. Hey, can we take a trip here? Maybe go to a dinner here. Maybe celebrate when we hit that victory, when we achieve that epic win. It's time to celebrate. So those are the rules of the challenge. Throughout the next 90 days, I'm hoping that you'll stay on board and you'll accept the first rule, and that's commit to the challenge. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what you're going to learn today. So today you're going to learn 3 simple things. I've touched on them already, but number 1, the most important person you must lead. You're going to learn the most important person you must lead. Number 2, you're going to learn the commitment that can change your life. The commitment that if you do this, it will change your life if you put this into practice. So make this commitment, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Number 3, what you're going to learn today is the process for achieving your goals, your financial goals. We're going to talk about that game challenge method and go over that. So let me get into this. Now, take a quick break, stop and think, okay, I know I don't have the questions going right now, but how is this sinking in right now? I mean, you can comment, the people in my Zoom group, my Zoho group. I actually have Zoho meetings. You guys can comment. Are you guys ready? Just put in their little chat, yes, ready, yes, ready. If you're on the YouTube stream, put yes, ready to go to the next step, ready to start learning, ready to take on the challenge. So you can just type in ready, or you can say like, let's go. But I just want you guys to say it's time. It's time to start increasing your income, and it's time to stop doing it by yourself. I'm here to take you on that journey. So, the most important person that you must lead is you. It's the person you look at in the mirror every day. That when you wake up, are you going, or are you looking at them and smiling away saying, you're a good looking person? You look at the person in the mirror. You start your day with your thoughts. Another miserable day? Or is this the best day that I can achieve great things and help others do the same? That's what you start looking at. You lead yourself. Now, 3 things you have to know. Number 1, you need to know your why. You need to know your purpose. And I'll kind of tell a story about that right there. Because when I was a little kid, and I don't know, I was probably 8 years old. My son is 6, so he's not there yet. But I kind of think about, man, I was pretty young. At 8 years old, I went up to my dad and I said, Dad, what's the point of living? And this is kind of after me sitting around for weeks at a time thinking, I don't think there's a point. And then my dad's jaw, after he picked it up, he's like, son, what are you talking about? I said, Dad, what's the point of living? I mean, you're going to go to school, make good grades, get a good job, make a lot of money, and then you die. What's the point? We could just die tomorrow. Why do we have to go through all that stuff? Why do we have to do all those things? And I was really, I don't know. I wasn't a depressed kid, okay? Even though I was 8 years old, don't say that. I wasn't depressed. I was just thinking a lot. I just had a lot of thoughts in my mind, and I just saw the future. I'm like, well, what's the point? And my dad, he looked at me and he said, son, God has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for you. You have to figure out what that purpose is. And that just made me think. And I remember going to church the next Sunday, and they said, "Who wants to receive, Christ as their Lord and Savior?" And I put my hand up, and usually there's a whole bunch of kids, but nobody put their hand up that day, and I was the only one. And they said, "Okay," and they took me out in the front, like in the back. They had like a room, and I was out there, and I went through the whole. I ended up giving my life to Christ. But one of the things that came after that was I said, "Okay, God, you're real. What do I need to do?" And I felt this quiet voice inside tell me, "Do what you said you're going to do. Go to school, make good grades, get a good job, make a lot of money, but do this, help others along the way." That's what spoke to me. That's what God put as a purpose in me, to help other people. And I think about people like Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins and Pastor Joel Osteen. They encourage people. They help people, and that's what I'm here to do. That's why I'm doing this, because I want to see you increase your income. I want to help better you, and so that's what I'm doing. That's my purpose. That's my why. And I've discovered that at 8 years old, and over time, I've been trying to do that. And now is a new season that I can do this even more by starting this community and starting these teachings. I've been teaching for 20 years at my church. Well, now I like to teach it in a more an open platform, like on YouTube and through my community. So that's what we're doing. So that's number one, know your purpose. Number two is to write down your purpose. Write down your why. That's really important, because if you don't write it down, it's something about your hand to your head, hand to your head. It just, when you do that, you're gonna, it's like putting it, why did God put the 10 Commandments on stone tablets? So people could see it and it reminds them. And that's the same reason you need to write down your purpose, your why. And number three is lead yourself to your why. And that's important, because we may have great intentions. I have an intention to help people. I want to help people, but I'm not doing it. Why not? I need to be intentional about that. That means I have to set up a process, a system that I'm going to help people every day in whatever I'm doing, whether it's a community, whether it's helping people at work, helping my children, my friends, my family members. But you create a system of leading yourself to your purpose, to your why. It's not just being, well, someday maybe. It's every day I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have small habits that if I continue with these habits, they'll create a destiny, that they'll change things for the rest of my life. I will impact people if I keep doing these things. So this is the most important person you must lead, is you, by doing these things. Now, here is what I have. I have the commitment that can change your life. The commitment that can change your life. That is what I want you guys to think about right now. This is the why, the purpose. What is the purpose in achieving your financial goals? Determine that purpose. It will require you to make a transformational commitment. Because they always say, if you keep doing what you're doing now, you'll keep getting what you have now. Keep getting the same thing. We can't keep doing the same things. We keep getting the same thing. So you have to make a transformation. You have to commit to changing. That's why I call this a transformational commitment. And I have a form. It's really simple, but it's basically you list every purpose or every why. And I only showed one here, but there's like a list of 10. You have 10 rows. You can brainstorm. This is your activity. This is what your quest is going to be, is to write down your purpose. And then you can list from 1 to 10 your passion to achieve it, your gifts and talents in that area, your service to others, and you total up the score. And then you can rank all these different things you thought about. Because it's not always easy to go, oh yeah, my purpose is this. Just like Israel, I want to help people. Well, it's taken me a long time to come up and figure out the best way I can help people. And it's taken a lot of me learning what I have learned in work, in school, and education, and leading people to do what I'm doing now. So again, you have to figure out what your why is and your purpose. And if I'm going to put a link on the YouTube stream, I don't have that on right now, but yeah, I will put that on the YouTube stream and on the Facebook group that I have a Facebook page for you to find that link for this form. For those people in the Financial Champion community, you can download this link in the community. And so this is the transformational commitment. This is the commitment that when you make it for yourself, this is my why, and I'm writing it down, and I'm going to put it somewhere I can see every day. This is going to change your life. If you see it and believe it and act towards it, it'll change your life. That is the transformational commitment that can change your life. The next thing I want to talk about is the process. The process for achieving your goals. Simply one word. It's community. God didn't create us to be by ourselves. He created Adam, and then Adam was by himself, and God said, hey, I think you need another person there. So he created Eve, Adam and Eve. There's two people. And that is why we need to be in community. We're not created to be alone. We're created to help others and people to help each other. I remember learning from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. There's dependence, there's independence, and there's interdependence. Dependence is when you're a little baby and you're dependent on your mom or dad to take care of you. And then you get to become a teenager or early 20s, you're a young adult, and now I'm independent. I have my own apartment. I have my own job. I'm living on my own. I'm independent. But then if you take that next level and you become interdependent, now you've grown up, you're an adult, you're making money, and your parents need your help, and you're helping them, and they're helping you, and you're each other interdependent. And that's really the highest level in relationships, is being interdependent. You can count on me, I can count on you. Together we can do greater things. That is community at its peak. That is at its the most effective method, is being in that interdependence. And that's what we want for you. We want a community. Again, you don't have to join the Financial Champion community to do this. You can do this with other friends and family. We're sharing the content. If you're in our newsletter, you're going to get these lessons every week. But important to know that community is what's going to get you there. You're going to have people to encourage you, talk with them. And sometimes it's interesting that it's not easy to be in community with like your friends and your family. It may be some things that you really need to talk to people, and you need a fresh perspective where there's no judgment, because sometimes there can be judgment with friends or family, and you want an objective perspective. And having a community where they're focused on one thing, I think Napoleon Hill called it the mastermind. It's when people have a single goal and they're working in harmony together. That's what you need. And you have to have a circle of trust. I talked about that in our webinar. You have to be able to trust the people. And I like the golden rule here. It's part of this, that it's really important. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So in the community, you're going to treat others with respect. You're going to talk to them. You're going to keep things private. You're going to do unto others as you would have them do it unto you. You don't want people talking to you about your stuff and your private details. So that is why it's so important that when you are in community, it is vulnerability. It is a little scary that I'm opening up to people, but yet it is the greatest way that if you can do this and have this circle of trust, you can achieve greater things than you could alone. So that is an important process for achieving your goals. Now, part of this process is having a methodology, a challenge method. And that's what I really want to end with talking about this here, is the Increase Your Income Challenge methodology. There's 8 points here. And so I'm not going to go into these in detail. I'll be talking about these throughout the weeks. Again, 90 days. So if you're coming back, I'm going to have more lessons. And if you're on our newsletter, you're going to be getting those newsletter. If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. Hit subscribe right now on YouTube to make sure you get these lessons. You don't want to miss them. This is free content. And again, I'm giving you the content. You can join my community or you can join your own community. And then here is the challenge method. And I want to give credit where credit is due. This is all coming from Dr. Jane McGonigal from her book entitled Super Better. Super Better. Now, I actually added 1 point to Dr. McGonagall's 7 points. I added an eighth point, and I'll talk about that in a second. But just real quickly and real briefly, this is the methodology that you're going to achieve your financial goals. Number one, you're going to challenge yourself, aka the Increase Your Income Challenge. And that's why I said number one rule is you have to commit to the challenge. And if you can buy the book, that's great. You can get the audio book like me. I love audiobooks. I can put it on 2 times speed, and I've gotten so good I can use 3 times speed. I can get into a 12-hour book and read it in 4 hours, or a 3-hour book and read it in 1 hour. So it is really fun to do that, but it does take concentration. I'm not some genius or anything. My wife, I'm watching videos and I'm like, can we put this in 2 times speed? No. So, okay. Challenge yourself. Number one. Number two, set the epic goal. Now, we're talking about income as one epic goal, but there could be smaller epic goals. Maybe doing something at work that you need to do, and you need to, you keep getting late on it, or you keep having challenges with it. Maybe setting an epic goal to achieve that, to conquer that, to create a system, to create habits that will change whatever you're struggling with at work or in your business. What is it that you struggle with? Identify it. Again, you don't have to solve it by yourself, but you do need to identify it by yourself. Identify what is the challenge, what is the thing you struggle with most, because that is going to become your epic win when you set this epic goal. So epic goal is number two. Number three, complete the quest and activities. So we're going to create quest. I'm going to give you a couple here in a minute, but a quest is something you go on. You take a journey. It's going to take a few steps. So activities are the steps it takes to finish the quest. And so you're going to have, it could be like number one quest, I'll give it away right now, is to do your transformational commitment form, to complete that. That's your number one quest. So you're going to take that on. You're going to get that done this week. And then you're going to have activities to go along with that. So that's number three. Number four, defeat the villains. We'll get into this more throughout this challenge, but you're going to have to identify the villains. That's the person, people, place, habits, things that are going to hold you back from success, from achieving your goals. That is the villains. That's what we're going to attack. It could be procrastination. It could be self-doubt. It could be fear of failure. It could be all the different fears that we face. Fear of, being ridiculed, and it's called the fear of shame or embarrassment. But we don't have to that. We can face those fears, and this is what we're going to use for that. So that's number four, is villains. Number five is collect and activate power-ups. A power-up is something that's going to lift you up. It's going to inspire you. It could be a poem you read. It could be a scripture you read. It could be hearing a message, of motivational message from a pastor or from an encouraging, motivated speaker. It could be those things. It could be a hug from your child. It could hearing them, maybe listening to a song, an inspirational song. Whatever that is, you're gonna identify your power-ups, collect them, and then when you need them, you're gonna put them to work. It's like Super Mario Brothers. You can see that bonus. What, I don't know, was it mushrooms? I can't remember what he would eat. And then you turn big. That is a super power-up to make you Super Mario, to make you super you, and to get big and to be able to defeat the villains. Now, you may need some allies, and that's the next step, recruiting your allies. Could be one person, could be two, could be three, probably not more than three, but you want them to come in and be a part of your challenge to help you achieve the quest that you have. They may have the same epic goals as you, they may not, but if you can define one epic goal that they can work on as well and make that a quest together and achieving it, that is how your allies come into play. Very important, and that's number six. Number seven, adopt a secret identity. There's a lot of psychology behind this, but sometimes we see ourselves as not good enough, not able to. And unfortunately, that limited mindset, those limiting beliefs, can keep us from achieving something, a great goal. But if you can put this persona and identify it and give it a name, it could be secret. You don't have to tell anybody, just knowing yourself. But if you identify this persona, take maybe your 7 characteristics from people who are your heroes, someone who's a great speaker, someone who did great things, someone who showed great courage. And I think about Abraham Lincoln. That man showed some courage. He did a lot of great things, but it was not easy. I've seen some movies on him and biographies, and it's one of those things that you have to like make a note and say, I want to be courageous as Lincoln. I want to be as someone who thinks a lot. I think of I don't know why I think of Albert Einstein right now, but that is someone who was a thinker. Relativity. He understood things, and it's trying to strive for that. You maybe you're not a genius like Einstein, but your super identity, your secret identity, can be as courageous as Lincoln, as smart as Einstein. You get the picture, right? And you start putting yourself into that person. You become that person. You're that superhero identity you take on, and that person can defeat your villains all the time. You put yourself into that person's shoes. You put the cape on. You become that person. This is, again, what makes it fun. So that is what you're going to do. So right now, that's number 7. Number 8, okay, this is my extra bonus one. You celebrate the victory. And I mean, you plan out the party with your allies. You already decide you're going to defeat your villain. You're going to decide that you're going to achieve your goal. You're going to make that salary of $200,000 a year. Yes, you're going to increase your business to $1 million plus in revenues. Yes, you can do that. And what are you going to do? Plan the party now for that victory. Plan the party now by writing it down. Celebrate the victory, because that gives you that mental finish line. And that's the only thing that Dr. Jane McGonigal didn't have in her 7 steps. So I added one. It's 8 steps now. And so that 8th step is to plan out, to see the victory and already start to, because you're just like saying, okay, I see it. I see it, the tunnel at the end of the light. I visualize what it's going to look like. You know, they always talk about Walt Disney when he passed away before Disney World was actually built. And they told his wife, we're so sorry that Walt didn't get to see Disney World. And his wife's like, what do you mean he didn't see Disney World? He saw it every day in his imagination. He visualized it every day. And it's because of his vision, his imagination, that it came to pass. And you have to do the same. Your life will follow your thoughts. So if you think it and you ink it and you act on it, you're going to make it. You're going to create it. So those are the things, those are the methodology for achieving your financial goals in this challenge. I hope you're taking all that in. Whew. I need a break for water here, so let me take a quick second. Okay, we have action items. Are you ready? Number 1 action item. Download the transformational commitment form. Download the form. Haven't put it on the YouTube because I just started the YouTube stream, and now I'll put it as a comment and I'll go and add it in there. So if you're on YouTube, you can do that, or go to our Facebook group at Facebook. Just do a search for Financial Champion, and then you can download the form there. Complete the form. Select your purpose. Now there's several, it's a brainstorm activity. You go and you brainstorm what your purpose is, and you figure out what's the one that you want to focus on, because there's a lot of different purposes we have in our life. I want to have a purpose to be a good father. I want to have a purpose to be a good business owner or a good husband or a wife. And those are purposes. But you want to make one, and you want to identify the one you're going to focus on in this challenge over the next 90 days. This is the purpose I'm going to focus on. So that's number 2. And number 3 is you're going to set some epic goals. Now, one of the epic goals I want you to do, think about this, set an epic goal for the annual income you want to have, okay? Set an epic goal for the annual income you want to have. This is our first one. And I'm not telling you you're going to achieve it in 90 days, but hey, with all things, with God, all things are possible. So you believe in, if you're a person of faith, believe it with God, and it's possible. But God doesn't do anything unless you start with believing by faith. You start by putting it down as a goal. That is what you need to do. Number 3, set that epic goal for your annual income. And we're going to have other epic goals. I don't want to inundate you with information right now. We're just kicking this off. This is day 1. And you're going to have 90 days of this. So you have to sign up for the newsletter. I'll get you some more activities and things that are coming along. Every week, this time we're going to have on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. And if you can't be here live, then watch it on YouTube for the videos. And number 4, think of 3 quests that you can create. These are quests. These are things like it's going to take several steps, but 3 quests that you can complete in the next 90 days that will help you increase your income. It's going to help you achieve your epic goal. So what is your epic goal? That's the first thing you have to do in number 3. And then after you've set your epic goal, then you come up with 3 quests. That's like major milestones, major things that you have to do. And I always say a quest has 1 or 2 or 3 activities. Hopefully it doesn't have 10 because you have to break it up. You want to break up a big goal, like a quest, and to 2 or 3 activities, and then you work on that. So just the 3 quests. Like you may say, I want to increase my income. So let's say you want to go 200,000 and you make 100,000. Probably not going to get a raise from 100,000 to 200,000. But if you get a new job, that's possible. You start a new business, that's possible. So set your epic goal, and then create the 3 quests, because part of that quest might be like starting a business, going back to school, getting my certification, doing those things. You have to figure that out. Again, I'm not here to give you answers. I'm here to give you the process and the accountability and the content. But you are the only one who can do it. So that's the number 4. Number 5 is check out financialchampion.net for additional resources. I'm going to put the links there. That's the best place probably for me to put all my downloadables and forms. So financialchampion.net. Sign up for our newsletter. I think that was one of my next points. You can subscribe to Next Level newsletter at financialchampion.net. We want to help you take your finances to the next level. And so this challenge is the way we're starting that. And really excited about this. Really thank you for joining us. And for those who are not joining us live, thank you for watching this video. Please remember to subscribe. Share it with other people. You want to be that person that said, hey, my friend Bob told me about this channel, and since I did that, I started increasing my income. And so that's what we want you to do. Again, community, you're here for each other. If you want to join our Financial Champion community, it's a paid community. We have a special discount going on right now. And so this is promotional codes right here. You have to enter these promotions. We have Financial Champion Academy and Financial Champion Academy Pro. Academy gives you these live sessions. As soon as the live stream is done right now, I'm going to break out into small groups with our group. And you can do it's $15 a month or $120 a year, and you have the codes right there. They'll also be there at financialchampion.net/FCC-enrollment. That's where you can enroll. And then there's the FCA Pro. What comes with that is some mentoring that myself, my wife Monica, will have personal one-on-one mentoring, or it's group mentoring, not one-on-one, but group mentoring. So a small group of mentorees can come in with their questions. We can talk about their situation and get into some details. That's the mentorship part. That's the additional part. That's FCA Pro, Financial Champion Academy Pro. And there's $50 a month or $540 annual. I hope you've really enjoyed this session. I've enjoyed giving it to you and learning with you and taking this content. Again, we're here to be your accountability partners, your community, Financial Champion community. And even if you don't do the paid membership, join our newsletter, get the resources, come to our website, tell someone about it. We want to help you achieve your goals. And so I just want to tell you all the time, I like to declare it, you are a financial champion.